I'm Jason Epperson. This is RV Miles, and it's time for the latest in RV and camping news. Before we jump in, this episode sponsored by our friends over at RVmattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding. If you want to get a new mattress for your RV, really consider it. Get a good night's sleep in your RV. It's why you bought an RV in the first place. RVmattress.com offers mattresses that are made in their factory in Arizona, shipped to you wherever you are. They're toxin-free, 120-night sleep trial. We have them in both of our RVs and in our home because they're a real mattress manufacturer. Brooklyn Bedding makes all kinds of mattresses, not just RV mattresses. They're real mattresses for your RV instead of an RV specific mattress, but you can get real mattresses in all the weird different sizes that RV manufacturers make those platforms for, the different thicknesses, the different widths, the different bunk sizes, all of it. And through us, you get 30% off. It's the best deal they offer. You go to rvmattress.com/RVmiles and use the code RVmiles at checkout, and you're going to get 30% off and get that mattress shipped to you wherever you are in the country, including a campground. And you just open it up and let it expand, and you're off to the races. rvmattress.com/RVmiles with code RVmiles at checkout for 30% off. All right, first up, the RV industry has gained a lot more clarity from the California Air Resources Board, or CARB, on the Advanced Clean Truck program that's threatening to limit the sale of motorhomes in California and 9 other states at varying times in the next couple of years. I'm not going to go through the whole history of what's been going on here, so if you haven't been checking out our past episodes, I hope you're not lost here, but essentially things are improving. The RV industry has been meeting with CARB, trying to find the best solutions, and in fact is meeting with them again today as I'm recording this. A lot of what's happening here surrounds the use of credits to build chassis that are not zero emissions. So in California and these other states, manufacturers of chassis have to sell a certain percentage of vehicles as zero emission, essentially electric, and that percentage escalates each year. Also, I'm learning that that percentage is a little different depending on the size of the vehicle, but for sake of simplicity, let's say the number is 10%. If a manufacturer like Ford sells a Lightning pickup truck, that would essentially give them 9 credits for other internal combustion chassis to be built. Except it doesn't, because a smaller truck like a Lightning only gives them 0.8 credits, so it's really 7.2 internal combustion engines that they can sell for each Lightning pickup, but forget about that for now. Those credits can be banked or they can be sold, and a chassis manufacturer that has no zero emission vehicles like Freightliner or Spartan can buy those credits in order to sell vehicles like motorhomes. But the problem is the chassis manufacturers have to want to do so. The whole thing became a big story when Freightliner told motorhome maker Newmar it wouldn't be offering chassis to them for sale in California and these other states for next year. The issue, as I understand it, is that some chassis manufacturers would rather use their credits for trucks instead of motorhomes, because after all, this is a truck ruling. I don't know if there's more money in trucks or what, but the other issue is that manufacturers don't have to sell their credits. Right now, there are 18,000 credits available in California, and 13,000 of them are held by Ford and Rivian. Ford may tell other manufacturers to pound sand instead of selling their credits. They may need to bank them for the future, or they may not want their competitors to have them. Companies like Mercedes, GM, and Stellantis have 0 credits available at the moment, so they'd have to buy them as well. But it looks like this is all going to play out a little more slowly than was once expected. For one, these rules are going by model year of the chassis. Lots of 2025 motorhomes may be on 2024 or 2023 chassis, which is going to allow them to be sold. Second, CARB is perhaps going to potentially allow these credits to pool between the many states that adopt the rule, which should help the market price of those credits to come down. Right now, is you got to get the credit from the state that you need to use it in. Third, CARB is giving a 3-year credit grace period, so manufacturers can sell motorhomes in the next 3 years and perhaps earn credits through future zero-emission vehicles, but they have to buy the credits before that time expires if they don't produce any of them. Fourth, secondary manufacturers can now buy credits. Before, secondary manufacturers like motorhome makers couldn't do that. But now Newmar and Thor and Forest River, they can buy the credits and hand them over to the chassis manufacturer. That chassis manufacturer still has to agree to use those credits, however. I recently shared that Oregon is delaying adoption of the ruling. Now New Jersey and New York are looking at delaying the ruling as well. But in the end, this is going to be something that's going to have to be felt out a bit. We still don't know which chassis manufacturers are going to comply, and there is still discussion to be had between the parties, which is very telling. I do want to clear up that the RV industry has been working hard on this. There's a perception that they've just been sitting on their butts waiting for this to resolve itself. They've been working hard on this for years, and they did expect an exemption that just didn't happen. I think what we're going to see here going forward is a few things. I don't think anyone's going to have an issue getting a motorhome in these states, though there will certainly be a delay for certain types, especially Class A motorhomes. There might be a lot of limited availability there because there's already been a pause by some manufacturers. I think we're going to start to see the mix of motorhomes in these states change. More Class Cs and Super Cs on Ford chassis, for instance. This whole thing's really been a bit of a windfall for Ford. But the big issue looming over the next few years is that when this regulation was adopted back in 2020, there was an expectation that the adoption of EVs would be moving much faster than it has. So these percentages of required zero-emission vehicles may ramp up at a pace that's impossible to provide credits for. So that's going to be something to really watch over for the next couple of years. With all that, it's probably by design that Grand Design will be offering their second entry into the motorhome segment, debuting at the Florida RV Super Show this January in Tampa, a Super C on the Ford chassis. The Lineage Series F will be manufactured alongside the Series M that debuted earlier this year in the company's motorized facility, a plant that was designed for multiple motorhome lines. I do think we're going to see more in the coming year. Grand Design's released virtually no details on this unit yet, though, so we're going to have to wait and see what they show in January. In truck news, Ram is preparing to introduce its refreshed heavy-duty trucks. As we talked about last week, Ram and parent company Stellantis have been struggling as of late, and this long-awaited refresh may be partially why. According to the Mopar Insider's website, sources say the 6.7-liter Cummins turbo diesel engine is set to undergo significant upgrades, including a redesigned cylinder head with external injectors and fuel rail lines, and glow plugs will replace the intake manifold grid heater, which should provide better cold start performance. This is all speculation, of course, but they're usually pretty good with these things at Mopar Insiders. We do have a sneak peek image of the body look from Ram, though. The intake manifold on the engine has been re-engineered for improved airflow, and it will have top-loaded cartridge filters for oil and fuel to simplify maintenance. Additionally, the high-pressure fuel pump has been redesigned to address reliability concerns as seen in previous models. The new Cummins will be the sole diesel engine available for both the 2025 Ram 2500 and 3500 models, and will be paired with the new turbo and ZF Powerline 8-speed transmission. There will be no separate high-output model available. This is the high-output engine, and the pricing will reflect that, staying in line with the current high-output Cummins, about a $12,000 upgrade from the base engine. The 2025 Ram heavy-duty models are expected to debut at the 2025 Detroit Auto Show in January. But at the same time, Ram is recalling 317,000 2017 to 2018 heavy-duty pickup and cab chassis vehicles. The hydraulic control unit may fail, which can cause the anti-lock brake system, electronic stability control, and traction control systems to fail. Dealers will replace the part free of charge. Owner notification letters are expected to be mailed January 9th. And General Motors is recalling 131,000 2024 Silverado and GMC Sierra HD vehicles equipped with power unlatching tailgates. The tailgate's electronic gate release switch may short circuit due to water intrusion, which can result in the tailgate inadvertently unlatching while the vehicle is in park. Owners are advised to check that the tailgate is closed and latched before driving. Dealers will replace the exterior touchpad switch assemblies free of charge. Owner notification letters for that are going to come out January 13th. We've seen very similar automatic tailgate recalls like this before. They can do a heck of a lot of damage to a trailer if you take off not knowing your tailgate went down. So make sure to get this fix done and watch your tailgate in the meantime. Outdoor cooking appliance makers Weber and Blackstone are merging. Weber is, of course, an iconic grill company that's been around for 70 years and serves customers in more than 70 countries. Blackstone primarily manufactures griddles, which have become extremely popular in recent years after the company was founded in 2008, pioneering the market. The brands will remain distinct and keep their respective headquarters. Really, Blackstone is getting a huge distribution bump by combining forces with Weber. Weber's CEO will retire, and Blackstone's CEO and founder will take over the combined company sometime next year when the transaction closes. That's it for this week's RV and camping news roundup. Also, that happened this past week, though, is our friends over at RV Share released their annual travel trends report, and we talked about it at length over on the RV Miles podcast. If you haven't checked out the RV Miles podcast yet, there's a video version over on its own YouTube channel, and of course, you can find it on any podcast app as well. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. If you got something out of this video, hit the like button. If you want more like it, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.